Welcome back to another episode of Last Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Zyra.
Ooh.
Hello. Happy
Hi.
Wednesday. Happy hump day.
Date.
Lately, we've been recording these very last minute.
I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess.
It really
But
is.
sometimes it really do just be nothing.
Honestly, though, sometimes I feel like people forgot we still do the podcast because we don't advertise it as much, like on our social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like the social media has just been like no podcast clips in the last few months.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
No, I know we did that on purpose, but I just think
That was like super time consuming. Like now, when I do edits, I just edit it and I just watch it through. Like it's already bad enough that I sat through this and we did it, but I'll have to watch through it and make sure like everything is right.
mm-hmm.
But like on top of doing that before, I used to have to do timestamps. So like you could go through and see what was something that you liked about the episode to like repost or something.
Yeah.
That extra step, not having to do that, probably like the best thing
But
that's
we
happened.
really stopped with the clips because it felt like it was like some of them were clickbait, but I feel like most people who had comments and opinions don't even listen to the podcast. And I feel like we just don't need that type of negative energy, you feel me? So if you are a listener, then you are to me like a you know, loyal person, loyal listener. But yeah. But there are some people who like when they see us, they're like, "Oh, I follow you guys on TikTok," which is cool too because you know.
I honestly forgot about our whole podcast TikTok because I'm not logged into it. Like, you know, it did that weird shit where like
Yeah.
it knocks you out. So I never attempted to log back into it. But the other day, um, the other night, I wanted to go on live on our TikTok because
Mm.
I was like, oh my God, like it's been so long. And like, I feel like every time we go on live on TikTok, like it's always, you know, we get a good,
Traction, yeah.
yeah. But I didn't have the login. So yeah, that failed.
You gotta log in. I gotta give
Yeah.
you the login. But I mean, barely post though. I wanna post more, but life has just been kicking my ass. Um, but let's talk about this weekend. So this weekend we celebrated Lily's birthday, and that was fun.
Yeah. I have put her on the spot and she don't like being on the spot. I like we had like extra decorations left from like another party or gathering we had for like one of us. And I like put it up on the like on the wall in the room she was staying in and like the whole happy birthday balloons and shit and like I gifted her some things. Um take care of y'all friends, y'all. I got her a nice little chain with a charm. For those of you who know, my parents own a jewelry store. So I had to get her something. I was like, you know what? She's always wearing these silver necklaces, which I love it. We all have our favorites. She never takes her shit off. But I was like, she needs something new. And she also used to have a choker that I thought we would have and we didn't. So I was like, I'm just gonna get her something different. So I got her a chain with an initial charm, and then I got her a pair of sunglasses because, you know, she be rocking sunglasses from time to time like me. Um, some silver huggy earrings, like little hoops. So she could change out her studs, which she actually put it on.
Oh,
She
really?
put the whole thing on.
When?
Sunday when we had that little
Oh, okay.
barbecue. She put the whole thing on and it was so cute. The rings actually look good on her. And then I got her a cologne.
Mm-hmm.
You know, listen, one thing about me, I'm a spoiled
You went all
motherfucker.
out. I didn't know you got her cologne too.
Yeah, girl.
Oh, wow.
hmm You wanna know why? It's because like she, I mean, I grew up with Lily. Basically, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I've said that. If I haven't mentioned it, well, here you go. But I don't know. Like we just, it's just one of those friendships and relationships that we have where it's kind of like our moms. Like we can go forever without talking. We've had like times where like she was in a relationship and we didn't talk for a while. I was in a relationship, we ain't talked for a while, and then like we still found like our way back as if like we never left. And
Mm-hmm.
like it is the most unserious and like un I don't even know how to explain like the relationship that we have. Like it's not.
Like it's like no pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like when I was younger, I would put pressure on my friendships. But
Mhm.
I feel like now that I'm older, we all got things to do.
Yeah.
We're all busy. We have partners, we have kids, we have pets, we have jobs. Like it's not like we're not in college anymore or in high school where we have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to give people grace if if you haven't heard from them in a while. Um but before that would like hurt my feelings
Mhm.
cuz it's like, oh, you just don't care.
Yeah.
Um
I always end up with friends like that though. We're just like, oh, well, you forgot about me, or oh, you hung out with such and such, but where was my invite? Or oh, like it's just. And Lily is not that, so I
mhm.
love that. And I don't know if that's off the strength of us like growing up together or what, but I can appreciate that. But we celebrated her birthday, which her birthday was really like in the beginning of May, but I worked that weekend, so I kind of felt bad. But I was like, you know what, the next weekend that I'm off, you should come up here and we'll celebrate.
Mhm.
And the main reason why I was like, like maybe it's my turn as a friend to obviously celebrate my friend. I feel like, we always have good times and we celebrate shit, but like I wanted to, I guess, put her on the spot, so to say, and do something a little different and make her feel special because like she I mean, she's always there for me, but definitely since like I've moved from South Jersey up to North Jersey, she's been like
Lily is
always,
always
always,
here.
always, yeah,
This
yeah,
girl
yeah.
is always here.
She's always down to come check me out. Like I'll hit her up and be like, "Yo, you want to come up this weekend?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, I'm down." And like she'll stay for the whole weekend, like you know. So I just like really appreciated that, and I was like, I want to do something for her, I guess kind of showing that. So I
Mhm.
did that like little decoration, the um her gifts, and then we like went out to dinner and stuff. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah. They brought out like the sign and all of that for her birthday, and she was covering her face because she's one of those.
Yeah, and she shows up to every celebration that we've had. Like anything Les Chat related throughout Pride
Oh,
Month,
yeah.
she has come and she has celebrated with us. Our birthdays, she has come and celebrated with us. So it's like, I just felt like it was time to repay that energy,
Literally.
even though she doesn't like being on the spot.
Literally.
But that girl know I love her.
How do you feel about people who like don't celebrate their birthday or like it's not because it's not a big deal? Like there's like Lily, she's like, it's not a big deal. Like, how do you
I
feel about that?
I mean, for some people, I think it could really just not be a big deal. It's just another day. But sometimes I just feel like that's because they feel they don't have any reason to celebrate, you know, I guess meeting being at that point in their lives, or they're not happy with where they are at in life,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't have, the support or the
Mm-hmm.
people around to make them feel special. And I'm not saying that that's everybody. People have reasons for why they don't want to celebrate anything, period, whether it being birthdays or holidays. But I mean, I guess for me, like that's important to an extent because it's like that's your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a childhood thing you feed into. Um, and I feel like I've been in situations where sometimes I feel like, oh, it is just another day, like whatever, because the older you are now, it's just like who's responsible for celebrating you now? Like it's you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not that
Yeah,
kid anymore.
literally.
You're not, your
Mm-hmm.
parents aren't throwing you whatever, or probably even aren't buying you gifts anymore. Luckily, my parents still gift me, but um, I don't know. I think like it just comes down to what you make it and what you want it to be, and like the purpose of celebrating that like your day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Everything in this life is what we make it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like for people who don't celebrate their birthday, I just wonder if they feel like if they're in a relationship, that they shouldn't have to celebrate their partner's birthday. Because I heard a relationship like that before, where it was like that person didn't celebrate birthdays, they didn't celebrate holidays, and then
So you feel
they
like,
wouldn't do anything for the person's birthday because they're like, well, to me, like, I don't do that. I've never done that. It's like, it's not in my religion type shit. And it's like, yeah, but it's like your partner doesn't have that religion yet. So it kind of seems a little like, I don't know,
I can't speak
rude.
on things that are like religious based because there are holidays where like as part of their religion they don't celebrate certain things. Grew up in a household where we celebrate all that shit, so I don't know. But that reminds me of like the video you sent me where I guess like that whole Chicle and Melanie live where he was kind of talking about marriage and he was like, I don't believe in marriage. We're married and I still don't believe in marriage. Something along the lines of that.
That live was tragic.
And then he had mentioned like, oh, it was put into perspective to me was that marriage is for your partner. Like it's for the wife. So I say that to say like, with people who are like, oh, well, I don't celebrate that. So like, I'm not going to do that for my partner. It's for your partner. It's not for you,
Literally.
So it's like sometimes we have to do things like that, is in the best interest and for the happiness of our partner. And sometimes you have to do that. I guess depending on what it is, but it's not always about like you and your, I don't like, there's just gotta be some compromise sometimes. And if you're not willing to compromise with your person, then you gotta find someone who is a little bit more deep into the values and stuff like you. Like literally have to date yourself.
Yeah, I agree. But anyways, I want to get into some topics that were brought up this month, like on social media, and I'm sure some people might have heard about it, but it was about the woman who was in a bathroom stall, and then the security guard came inside and told her that she had to leave and told her that she had to prove her gender. But I'm going to read what the article says. It says, woman says security guard at Liberty Hotel in Boston confronted her in the bathroom. A couple said that this couple said that they were embarrassed and offended after they were ordered to leave a high-end hotel in Boston over the weekend. Their names are Ansley Baker and her girlfriend Liz Victor. And they had gone to like some party in the hotel, and yeah, they were the person who was stopped there, it's a woman and she's identifies as a woman. She said, yeah, I'm a woman, I identify as a woman, her ID says woman, but since she had a short haircut and she was like dressed more masculine presenting, the women on the line were the ones who kind of snitched on her. Like, get that. Somebody said, literally, get him out of here. He's a creep. Without even knowing. And you know what this reminds me of? You know that one of your friends told me a story about something like this that happened to them? And I would have been pissed. Because if I was in this situation and I'm in the bathroom with you and a security guard stops you talking about, prove to me that you're a woman, I'll be pissed. Like, I'm annoyed. Because I feel like...
What, you want to touch my titties?
And and it's like, what do you want her to do? To take her shirt off? Like, it's like... But this is the reason why gender inclusive bathrooms are a thing. Because, you go into a regular bathroom and if you're mask presenting, you're getting looked at many different ways. And I've seen even TikTok videos of this and like other mask presenting people speaking about this, like Amber from Amber's Closet, and how like women are looking at her weird. I don't know. I just feel like that's a crazy assumption to like make of someone. Like, but yeah, that this is why this is why we want gender inclusive bathrooms, so we could just use the bathroom in peace and not have someone look at you up and down and think that you're a man. But yeah, apparently the hotel like suspended the the cop or whatever, but they weren't even really like a legit cop. They were more of like a security. Um, I would have sued the whole hotel. I would have been like, that's not enough for me. Like, you suspending him, that's not enough for me. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I was just like, just ridiculous, honestly. And this is something that happens all the time, but people just don't speak on it. Like, your friend that happened to her. Um, Something else that was trending that I want to talk about a little bit more is lavender marriages. You've heard.
Fuck is lavender marriages?
Really? I thought you would have known. Really?
Oh, I know.
No,
Never mind.
tell me what you think it is.
When fucking gay people are fake marrying each other,
I mean,
fake playing straight.
okay, that's a good ratchet way of explaining it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says what Google says is refers to a union, typically between a man and a woman, where at least one partner is LGBTQ plus, and the marriage is entered into for reasons other than romantic love, often to mask their sexual orientation. And some people call them marriages of convenience. Did you know why it's called lavender? Really? Apparently the color lavender back in the day represented like LGBTQ plus or purple. And I feel like that's your favorite color.
It is.
So did you know that it had anything to do with being gay?
I remember we talked about it like in regards to like lesbians, like how
Uh-huh.
there was like a old,
Yeah, some lavender.
yeah,
I don't know
where
if it was
the
this or
it was
something
like
else.
lavender lesbians or something, part of the whole civil rights movement or something. Yeah. I don't remember, but I know we talked about it. And that's the only time like I heard that and I was like, "Oh, wow, makes so much sense."
And apparently back in the day this was done by like a lot of like famous people and like people who, didn't want people to know that they were low-key gay. A lot of men too. So this was like trending on TikTok earlier this year, and I went to the comments to see what people were saying, and it was some people were like so confused. They're like, just be roommates. Why bring a marriage into this? And then other people were like, well, then there's benefits of getting married when it comes to taxes, when it comes to health benefits and all of that. But apparently now lavender marriages are starting to mean something different. But I feel like listening to this, you're like, okay, like, do people really do this? Are people really in a lavender marriage? My sister was telling me a story about someone who she worked with, and she was like, he was super gay, like super, and he would speak about it. He ended up getting married to a woman, even though like he knew that, he liked men. And I don't know if he was bisexual or gay, but she was showing me pictures. And it was him with her, and they have kids and all of that, and they're still married. But he had told my sister like my family would never accept me, so like this is what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, I was like, but that's so sad though. Like it's like that's just so sad. So you're not living your life because because of your family. And I get it. Like some people are like, I just don't want to disappoint them, but at the same time it's like you're not living for yourself then. You're living for someone else. And I honestly feel like his family knows. They have to know, and they still talk shit about gay people in front of him. And
That's the worst.
they're Boricua, so they're Hispanic, and they live in Florida, but yeah, they still have like these old views on it, and it's really sad. So people are really doing this, and I truly don't get it. But yeah, so apparently Generation Z is kind of taking a different approach to lavender marriages. I don't know if I like it because I feel like lavender marriages is tied to LGBTQ plus, and somehow it's being changed some way somehow. But Apparently not. Well, now people are more open, and it said that the New York Times recently ran an article about Samantha Greenstone, who identifies as straight, and Jacob Hoff, who identifies as gay. After being close friends for 18 months, they realized how deeply they cared for each other and then married. They've been together for 8 years and are in a monogamous marriage. They describe each other as soulmates, bonded as if they were together in a past life. And I found their TikTok and everything. And yeah, and you could tell he's gay. The way that he speaks and all of that. And I'm like, okay, and they're monogamous? The term is changing. But yeah, let me continue reading what they said. Others who are responding to the idea of mixed orientation relationships are doing so for financial reasons or because they are tired of being rejected or cheated on by their same sex dates. And the truth is that more and more younger couples under 40 are choosing to partner with someone of a different sexual orientation. Many women are reporting on social media that they prefer a bisexual man because they find them to be more accepting and open minded and better communicators, especially about intimacy. Which is funny because I feel like we talked about this in like maybe 3 episodes ago when Dochi said that a straight man is like her biggest red flag. Um, and I feel like we both were like, well, yeah, dating a man sounds way better than dating like a straight man. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are the differences and similarities between the lavender marriages and now the new mixed marriages. And they shorten it to MOMS, so moms. So this article says, while the story of Samantha and Jacob is fascinating, the gay guy with the straight woman, it's not typical of the mixed orientation marriages, the moms, whatever. With lavender marriages, the couple goes into the marriage knowingly. So, like, when people go into lavender marriages, someone says, I'm gay, but we're just going to do this for show. And, like, so my family,
Correct.
yeah, so my family doesn't question me, but, like, you do your thing, I do my thing. And we have kids and we cool and, whatever. But with the new mixed marriages, the couple does not know. Instead, usually it is one half of the couple that comes out as gay or bisexual, and the straight partner discovers the secret later. And it was just saying how like you see a lot more women coming out as gay or bisexual in marriages than men coming out as gay or bisexual. But it basically said that there's a lot of men who are in relationships like this where they're low key down low and they're scared to come out as like gay or bisexual. And yeah, we're just saying that they even when this happens, they just don't want to split it up. They're trying to stay together. They're best friends. They're great co-parents. They manage their finances well, and that they have a satisfying sex life. And then it said the key here is that they fell in love with the person, not that person's sexual orientation. Gender is secondary to the bond they feel. So I found that interesting because I feel like, are you really living your true self if you're in this type of mixed orientation marriage where you know that you like the same sex but you're still living your life with someone you married just to marry? Does that make sense? So yeah, I don't know. They're trying to combine the two, or they're trying to, like, Generation Z and just like TikTok in general is trying to like if you look up lavender marriages on TikTok, it's not, most of them are not what we're saying when it comes to like back in the day how people used to do this, so people won't know that they're gay. Now it's like a lifestyle. Like, we're just getting married to get married. It's like so strange to me.
I'm so
And it's
confused.
very confusing
Yeah.
too. But yeah, I don't like that they're even tying lavender marriages to this, because I feel like people had to do this because they just want to be accepted by society, by their family.
Go marry your best friend or something. That's the thing. That's like when we talked about it before, where people are like, "Oh, I'm getting into like platonic relationships," but like obviously it just lacks the romance or whatever
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, "Oh, I like we have a bond that I want as a partner, but not as a romantic relationship." You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I don't know.
But yeah, no, I wanted to talk about this because if it's been like on my saved things for a while, and I just wanted to bring it up because yeah, it's just interesting to me because people still do this. I heard that in Asian countries this is a lot more common. Um, because it just comes down to like your family and friends not accepting you, and you just have to live like this picture perfect life with a man or woman next to you and kids. Literally. I'm glad that we're getting to a point in life where the American dream or whatever the hell isn't as normalized. Like people are like, it's okay if you don't have kids. It's okay if you don't get
Like it's
married.
not glamorized.
No, yeah, it's not glamorized and it's frankly not possible. Like
What
it's
do you
just
mean it's not possible?
the American dream. Like yeah,
It's fabricated. It's
that
not.
was
It's
that's
not.
old news, girl. Like that shit don't happen here no more. Like people come to America they get for a greater life, and I feel like we're not getting that. I want to know if we're great yet, but we're not. Like it's not a thing anymore. And I'm glad that like the internet is just like normalizing like girl, what American dream? Nobody has the picture at least well, I'm not gonna say nobody, but at least in my in in my environment and the people that I grew up with, I do have a lot of friends who are married. I do have a lot of friends who have kids. I do have a lot of friends who have houses, but not everything's as perfect as it seems, you know? Um, so yeah, even when you have all of that, there could still be so many other issues, I feel like,
Yeah.
within the family or within yourself or um
Within your
yeah,
relationship.
within your relationship. Like it's like just because they're married don't mean they happy.
Yeah.
So I follow like a lot of people who like speak up about like the reality of life because I feel like when I follow people like that, this is gonna sound so fucking dumb, but empathetic, but like it doesn't make me feel bad about myself because I'm like, okay, like this is normal. Like things aren't as easy to obtain as they were in the past. Um, Especially like when it comes down to like I said, like the American dream.
Hmm.
Because like buying a house is way more expensive. And I know that we live in a very expensive state, but still, you feel me? Like people are struggling everywhere, not just in Jersey.
Yeah. Like, where would we really be without the internet?
Exactly where we are.
But I'm saying, like, what do you mean exactly where we are? I'm saying in the sense of like the internet has given so much information over the years.
Mm.
And okay, so I think we had this conversation, but like I had um I had did some training a little bit ago, and the conversation of like LGBTQ and dealing with people part of the community, whatever, that whatever. So
Mm.
they basically were saying it's an older person, and he's like, "Oh, well, you now I don't let my kids do too much now with the TikTok and all the
Mm-hmm.
internet stuff platforms because you know now everybody's just posting whatever and like it's influencing kids."
Mm-hmm.
So basically implying that people are influencing kids to on their sexuality and shit.
Not the sexuality
So
though.
so my thing was, yeah, so they're like,
They
"Oh,
said this in front of you.
Yeah. This was
Mm.
like a open group discussion.
Oh, it's like a big group.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was an open big group discussion where it was just like how to interact when dealing with people part of the community, because there's a lot of people who kind of still don't understand the whole gender and like the gender identities and the preferences and all that stuff. And obviously the older people have a harder time with it. Um with pronouns and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that to the point where they actually get frustrated and they're like, like why is nowadays everybody's being so extra, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ODing on all this shit. So that's when they got into the conversation of like, oh well, with social media, like kids go on there and they see somebody doing it and it's like a trend. So it's a
Yeah.
trend to be like,
Or is it a trend to be gay?
yeah, like
Oh,
all
okay.
that shit. So I mean, I really wanted to say something, but I was like, this is
What are you
just
gonna do?
not
Yeah.
like for what.
Uh-huh.
It was more so for like the education and knowledge of it. But again, I was just like, it's just I'm not the one. But I say this to say, like, to people who don't understand it, they think that people are just hopping on these social media platforms and they're just making shit up and putting it out there to influence people. But realistically, have you ever sat down and thought that maybe shit like this already exists in the dark? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like it's like, I mean, it's like if you think about it, you search one thing and that's what you keep getting. If that makes sense.
yeah, like it just everything keeps coming back up.
Yeah, like it's like until you decide to refresh your, I guess, algorithm, but like it's really the algorithm.
But I'm just
Hmm.
saying, like, if it wasn't for internet nowadays, like people have been living in the dark. People have been living in the
Yeah.
dark with their sexuality, the whole lavender marriage
Hmm.
to save themselves, for different reasons. Same thing with like, oh, do you think everybody has been monogamous in their life? No, but
Hmm.
because of society's,
Hmm.
a way of life wanting to make monogamy look this way and that way.
Hmm.
Like there's so many things, like everything within religion,
Yeah.
like everything I feel like in life has like happened,
Hmm.
but because you people have never seen it in the light,
Hmm.
they think like, oh, this is a trend, people are making shit up.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It was like, to me, I just wanted them to have the perspective like, people aren't just showing up gay out of nowhere, out of trend. People
Yeah.
aren't just, like transgender and all that has been around for a
For
lifetime. For a
years,
lifetime. And
like
it's
this is
like,
old.
again, it has been in the dark
Uh-huh.
and now it's coming to light. Like, it's not just happening
Right,
because
like this
people
is
just
not
hopped on a
new.
social media
This is not
platform
new.
and saw someone else doing it and thought, hey, that would be cool for me to do.
I think it's like more people are more comfortable with it because it's something that they see. It's something that they see. I feel like back in the day, since we didn't have social media, we couldn't see it. All we saw was what they, put on the TV,
The TV and what's in your home.
and that's
That's
it.
it. So of course it's like, oh, you think that that's the way of life, that's how it's supposed to be. But that's what I'm saying, like, the internet has been a great thing and I'm sure a bad thing in the same sense, because you can't go on the internet and believe everything you fucking see. um but I just had that thought in my head of just like, oh wow, where would we how progressive would we really be without internet, without technology and shit nowadays. That's my spiel. That's all I
No,
got for you.
no, I get that. You know what I was thinking about? Like this is kind of in the same topic, but kind of not. Since life is so difficult when it comes to finances right now, like everything's fucking expensive. We already know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point where people who are in like two like double income still can't afford life or still can't afford um buying a house or whatever the case is. Like, and marriage is only between two people. What if the US could be like other countries? And I don't know where they do this exactly. I don't even want to mention anything. Um, there's people who have like two wives. So it's like three of them. So it's like what if in the future that becomes a thing? Because it's like, si estamos en olla, like we that poor, like we need a third person in this household to help us with income, to help us with the kids. Like I mentioned this shit before. Like I babysit for this family, and the dad be there, the mom be there, and I'm there. Literally, you need 3 people here to take care of 2 kids. One of them has special needs, but still. So it's like, imagine if in the future that becomes normalized. Like you could get married with 2 people.
Probably it's already happening.
I mean, is it? I mean, people get married and then
So
they have a girlfriend as
very,
a
very,
third.
very quickly, very quickly. So you know Jason Lee, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. He had did a interview with, I don't know the
He's a
girl's
problem.
name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know the lady's name, but I guess she's like one who's like very into politics and all,
Okay.
current event shit. Um I really don't know her name, but I don't know. Their interview happened to come across my timeline, and he had asked her, so you don't think that like gay people should get married? He
Oh
was like,
my
you don't think that
goodness.
I
I
should
gotta
get
listen
married
to
type
this.
shit. And she basically, to like sum it up, because I'm not fucking watching that shit all the way, but she basically was like, I think that the government should have left marriage to the churches,
Mm.
and the government should have found a different way to imply, unionship, I
I
guess so
mean,
to
I
say.
I agree. Like, I mean, that's the way I was taught though. Like, I had to do all these extra steps to get married in a church. Did you have to do that?
Yeah.
Right. So we could get married in a church because we did what we had to do. But it's like some people haven't done that. But I heard that when you get married with the church, you also have to do like marriage counseling and things like that before, like pre-marriage counseling. And I feel like that should be like a requirement for everybody, you know?
I just wanted to quickly bring that up because I saw that and I was like, I don't hate it. Like in a sense of like,
But then it's
only
like
because it came as a whole. It
if you're not
came it
religious, like
came out
that's
as a whole
tragic.
like, oh, that like religion just shouldn't be within the government shouldn't have anything to do with religion, and as well as it shouldn't play into politics, like these are separate things, they should stay separate things. But I don't know shit about politics, so I'm not gonna chat.
The thing is that
But
everyone's not religious.
yeah.
So that would be like so tragic.
What do you mean that would be
For the
tragic?
gays, like to get married in a church for
Oh
some
yeah.
some people. I mean, for some people they wouldn't like that. Not saying that I won't. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the fuel because uh,
Well, no, I'm just saying that the church would have to accept all gay people everywhere. Every church.
yeah, but wouldn't it be like, oh well, if it was separate and the government had their specific version of a marriage, is what
Oh,
I'm
okay, okay.
saying.
And then it'll be like 3 people.
What?
I'm confused. You're telling me, okay, regular marriage with the church, and then what is the government gonna do?
The government would have to find their own version of marriage through the government.
I just want to know if it was gonna tie into what I told you about 3 people getting married.
No, girl.
Girl, other people do this shit. I swear to God. I really don't know what the government will do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I don't know about things government
Uh
legal
huh.
wise, but there are other like unionships that is, I guess, is
Okay.
different from marriage, but it is
Mhm.
legal
Okay.
bond, I guess, to your relationship or something.
I've heard of something like that, but
If you know,
I
please explain it to us because I'm
have not done any
no
research on that.
idea. But yeah, I don't know. I was just saying. It just sounded like it made sense at the time when I watched that video
Yeah.
because like marriage is through the church. Like that is, you know, religion, ideology, marriage, man, woman, blah blah. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's my spiel. Just wanted to share
No,
that
that was
quickly.
that was a good discussion. How many minutes we got?
Girl, we're 43 minutes in.
Okay,
It's
let's
4:39.
all right, let's wrap this up. We're gonna end with a family meeting. It says, I've been with my girl for 3 years. It's been an awesome 3 years. I know that she is my person and vice versa. She's also my first girlfriend. I'm 35 and a later in life lesbian, I guess. The issue is that she wants to live outside the US for a few years, and I don't see that for me. My career and life is here. I'm very close to my family and friends, and I am finally establishing some queer community, which is so hard in itself. I would regret losing this because dating was rough before I met her. But I don't want to go live abroad and start feeling isolated and resentful towards her. I know it's a normal in gay culture to move across the country with a partner, but my logical mind and heart are struggling. 3 years. Do you have
I mean,
any?
you already know that you don't want to leave, so that's it.
Is that like, can you like follow up and ask her if that's like a deal breaker? Because sometimes I be telling Jojo, like, I'm ready to go somewhere. Like,
I'm not
we
going.
gotta go to Spain. Like, we gotta stay in Barcelona.
If it can't, like,
Like,
okay,
I would
so for
love
me it's
to.
different, and I'm sure for her it was too, was like, oh, well, we're within the same state.
Uh huh.
It's just a couple hours. Even that, like moving within the same state, but out of your what you're familiar to, it's like a drastic change in its own. But to move to an entirely different state, new country, whatever, it's like that's a big change. And I feel like that has to be something that you want to do for you and not for a partner.
The girl. But
Yeah.
if they're together, it's like, what is she gonna do? Leave her?
Yeah, if that's the deal breaker, if you want to go so bad, fine. I'm not going to stop you from going. I'm a person who, listen, I'm not going to stop you from, living your
Living your
best life,
life.
having, whatever is destined for you. I believe in your own shit. But if that's not in the cards for me, regardless of how much I love you or I want to be with you, I cannot.
What if you had like a remote job? You still wouldn't want to move?
I mean, maybe that would be different, but
Or like
I can't
travel?
relate because I don't have a remote job.
I know. Or like travel. But I don't know.
It
Part
would
of,
have to be like a long distance thing, like, oh, I'll come see you and we'll see how that works, even though long distance isn't for everybody and it would probably just
and
fade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But if you already know, like, I understand like being conflicted, but it's like you just said it. You have all these things that you don't want to leave behind. And the last thing you want to do is to take that risk and, that leap of faith, and then it's the worst decision you made because now you ruined the experience for her, because now you're going to resent her and regret the fact that you even did it because now you're not happy, and it just ruins the experience for your girlfriend who wanted to move in the first place. And then it's just going to cause problems. You're going to break up anyway and find yourself back home.
yeah, this is also her first girlfriend.
But you came out later.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in the beginning, it's always a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're going to go back to the dating scene and it's going to be a little messy too, but you'll find someone, or maybe she comes back and you guys get back together, or maybe you guys having that distance and space, you realize, oh, okay, like having all these other things are great, me being home is great, but I do want to be with you. So now, you change your mind and you guys get back together.
Yeah. Like maybe you guys could worry about this later, or maybe you guys could try to do the whole long distance thing.
Yeah.
See if it works. There's a very like a famous queer couple right now that they're going viral because they were married and one of them lived in the UK, the other one lived in Miami, and then the girl from the UK came to Miami. They lived there for 5 years, and then I don't know if the one from the UK was like homesick, but they moved to the UK, and then after a month, the one from Miami was like, I can't do this.
I forget their name. It's like Prince and Tati or
Yeah,
something like
so she
that.
left literally a month later and they got a divorce, Dike, or going through a divorce. I don't know. There's definitely more to the story. I just haven't watched all the videos because I feel like the whole thing sounds very messy. And I don't like watching more than one breakup video. Tell me everything in one video and
Yeah.
that's it. Um, but yeah, they were like a really cute couple. And that long distance thing just didn't work out. Some people just at the end of the day, they're just always gonna miss their family and friends, and you need to come to like a compromise. So yeah, that's a really huge move. Like if you don't plan on marrying her, then I wouldn't move to another country
Yeah.
because that's crazy. But yeah, that's it. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe.
Deuce, deuce, mother goose.
Bye.